A bold, high-impact opener delivering a stunning statistic about South Africa's global streaming reach, or a shocking fact about cultural influence on international investment decisions, or a powerful contrast between global perception versus South Africa's real economic potential. The line should feel electric, immediate, and provocative, setting the mood for a high-stakes cultural diplomacy story. A tightly crafted preview revealing that viewers will uncover how Netflix has become a silent diplomatic engine ahead of the G20. How Brand South strategically uses modern storytelling to sell national identity. The unexpected twist. Cultural influence is now competing with economic policy in shaping global decisions. The tease promises a surprising revelation tied to SA's future positioning on the world stage. A culturally immersive engagement hook such as asking viewers which SA show or film first exposed them to the country. A challenge. Describe SA culture in 3 words, no cliches allowed. A mini thought experiment. If Netflix shaped your view of a country, would it change your travel choices? This primes interaction while keeping aligned with the narrative of culture right arrow perception, right arrow global economics. Each block description below is much longer than before, providing your script with deeper narrative shape, emotional arcs, and thematic direction. A probing question. What happens when global perception is shaped more by stories than speeches? Focus. How streaming narratives influence cultural identity abroad. Key angles. Soft power mechanics, subtle diplomacy through entertainment. Impact. Viewers grasp SA's cultural capital before economics even enters the frame. Understand the narratives shaping your country's future. Introduce a counterintuitive idea. Netflix's SA content has unintentionally become a diplomatic tool. Explore rising global curiosity, algorithm-driven exposure, emerging cultural appeal. Real-world impact. Tourism curiosity, investment introduction, cultural familiarity. Direction. Track how your stories travel, they define your global footprint. Paint a sensory-rich scenario. G20 delegates watching SA's top Netflix titles curated by Brand South. Themes. Emotional immersion, cultural onboarding, subtle diplomacy through entertainment. Impact. Delegates experience SA's human texture before official presentations. Use narrative immersion to build trust before negotiation. Mini story. A foreign viewer falls in love with SA culture after a Netflix discovery. Themes. Authenticity, curiosity, cultural connection. Impact. Small stories create large-scale perception shifts. Your story might be someone's first passport stamp. Insight. Governments often forget that stories build brand loyalty better than brochures. Themes. Cultural strategy versus traditional marketing, emotional resonance, human-first branding. Impact. Stories create memory anchors for global audiences. Lead with emotion, the logic will follow. Reveal 2 data points that shock. Tourism search spikes following hit shows. Global Google Trends correlations with SA streaming releases. Themes. Data as cultural evidence, content's real economic footprint. Impact. Shows the measurable power of storytelling. Track cultural analytics, it guides national strategy. Explore a near-future trend. Cultural streaming partnerships becoming diplomatic norms. Themes. Content-driven diplomacy, global cultural flows, hybrid state media collaborations. Impact. Nations begin competing through narratives, not press releases. Prepare for a world where stories negotiate before leaders do. Narrate a behind-the-scenes moment. Brand South plus Netflix aligning for the G20. Themes. Strategic synergy, identifying shared goals, shaping global sentiment. Impact. Shows planning and intentional image crafting. Strategic storytelling requires strategic partners. Introduce commentary from a cultural strategist or brand diplomat. Themes, influence architecture, identity signaling, power of cultural frames. Impact, anchors the narrative with authority. Learn from experts who shape national narratives. A lively, high-energy CTA that acknowledges the midpoint naturally reinforces viewer participation, uses rhythm, brevity, and emotional alignment, avoids disrupting narrative flow example direction. Invite viewers to share which essay story changed their perception. Designed to escalate tension, add unexpected twists, correct misconceptions, and deepen understanding. Debunk the idea that culture alone creates economic opportunity. Themes: ecosystem building, multi-layer synergy, real policy implications. Impact: nuance added to earlier insights. Culture opens the door, strategy keeps it open. Present economic numbers that reveal creative sector influence. Themes: GDP contribution, job creation, investment pipelines linked to storytelling. Impact: tangible proof of SA's cultural economy value. Data transforms cultural pride into national strategy. Explore how cultural identity builds investor confidence. Themes: trust building, humanity connection. Impact: emotional branding becomes national leverage. Make people feel something, they'll remember everything. Expose a common error, treating cultural partnerships as side projects. Themes: missed opportunities, shallow branding approaches. Impact: reveals how nations lose competitive cultural advantage. Treat culture as infrastructure, not decoration. Compare SA's bold cultural diplomacy to other G20 nations. Themes: diversity strategy, narrative dominance, global perception wars. Impact: shows SA's distinct approach. Stand out by leaning into what others overlook. Address the influence global platforms hold over cultural narratives. Themes: representation, platform power, narrative selection. Impact: viewers realize the stakes behind digital storytelling. Guard your narrative, it defines you globally. Explore post-G20 opportunities for brands South plus Netflix. Themes: scaling cultural ecosystems, exporting talent, building regional creative power. Impact: long-term vision becomes clear. Build a future-proof narrative pipeline. Emphasize SA's diverse cultures as diplomatic tools. Themes: language richness, traditions, music, storytelling heritage. Impact: cultural layers become strategic assets. Your cultural uniqueness is your global bargaining chip. A powerful future-focused block exploring narrative dominance in geopolitics. Themes: perception wars, cultural alliances influence ecosystems. Impact: stakes rise dramatically. Narratives decide influence. Influence decides outcomes. A poetic yet strategic closing summary. Reinforce the journey from stories right arrow perception, right arrow national brand strength. Hint at the series continuing with deeper cultural economy insights. Leave viewers reflecting on SA's global cultural momentum.